There we go. Hi, Terry. I'm usually the one watching you do lives, you and your daughter. Traveling? What are you doing traveling, girl? Oh, Cindy. I know your name, Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Michelle. Okay, you guys. So I'm just going to do a real simple little tutorial because this is simple. It's just easy raw edge applique. So this is going to be our little string that holds our bauble. These are the pieces for the bow, and this is our bauble. And I used an old CD as my template to make the bauble. And I have put the template for the bow, which is this paper. I put that in the comments there on the video. And I also put the word file. These are the words that I'm going to put. It says, remember the miracles. My best friend and I this morning, we were talking about a couple of different things, but we were both saying that we needed to remember that God's done so many miracles in our lives, and we always need to remember that. So I thought I'd make a little mug red that says, remember the miracles. So this is my my old CD. I just found an old CD laying around, and I used it to trace around onto some fusible. And all of these have fusible on the back already. It takes a while for it to, the fusible is super old, so it takes a while for mine to cool down enough that I can peel the paper off the back because it's old. But once it's cold, it works fine. But when it's still warm, it doesn't work so great. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is take this paper and put it underneath my fabric because I can see it through the fabric, and I want to see where I'm going to put this so that there's enough room to put the words on. And I was trying to decide if I wanted it up on the top or down on the bottom. Kind of like it like that. What do you guys think? Down the bottom, or should I put it like this? I also thought about putting it kind of sideways like this. So I kind of like it that way too. I think I'll do it this way. Okay. So this is going to go about here. I want to make sure there's enough room for the words. I'm going to embroider these words. I'm not going to do that on the video, but I'm going to just mark them out with a water-soluble pen, and then I'm going to embroider them later. And so I just want to see where they're going to go so that I don't take up all the space with the bauble. And I think I'm going to put this guy about here. And I just kind of want to get an idea of where everything's going to go because I need to mark a line for the strings. So I want this to be about a ½ inch away from the bauble because I want the little knot to cover the end of it. So I think I want it about there. So I'm going to take my ruler and measure. It looks like it's about 2 3/4 inches over is where I'm going to mark my line. And I'm just going to use a pencil because it's going to get covered up with the fabric anyway. So I'm just going to mark a straight line so that I don't make it crooked when I go to sew it on. And then I'm going to put it about there. So what I'm doing is I have folded over a 1-inch piece of fabric, a 1-inch strip, folded in half. And I'm taking the side that is the raw edge and I'm putting it up against the line that I marked. And I'm just going to put a couple pins in it to hold it. And I'll take all the other pieces off for now. And then I'm going to go over to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew that piece. And while I do that, I can see what you guys are saying. Can you hear me? Janelle says that she can't hear me. Can you guys hear me? Let me make sure that I have the right microphone on. I do. And it says that I'm talking and mute. All good. Okay. Okay, good. You're good then. Okay. Switching over to the other camera. So this is my other machine that I don't love, but it's the only one that has a decorative stitch on it. So it's the one I'm going to use. Right now I'm just using a straight stitch, but I wanted to make sure that I had the machine that has a decorative stitch for later. So I'm just going to sew a approximately 1/4 inch seam on the raw edge of this. Doesn't have to be exactly a 1/4 inch. I actually do it a little bit narrow because I want to cover up the raw edge of the fabric when I turn it over. Okay. Oh, darn it. Tripping over my cord. Okay. Y'all still hear me? Hopefully I didn't pull the cord out. Okay, so I sewed down this side, which is the raw edge, and I'm just going to flip over this piece so that it covers the raw edge on that side, and I'm going to press it. All of these directions are in the PDF that I linked there in the video. So I just press this over. I'm going to go ahead and trim this extra off. I just wasn't sure exactly where I was going to put it, so I wanted to make sure it was long enough. So now what I'm going to do is just sew really close to the edge down both sides of that string. And try not to trip over my cord again. It's always fun trying to sew around my camera. So I'm just going to sew really, really close to both edges on this. You don't need to sew the side that you already sewed, but I do it anyway because I want it to look even. And if you're wondering, this is some woodland. I had some, I know I've told you guys before, but I had some sample fabric of woodland. And so this is the one that's coming next month from Tilda. This would also be really pretty out of that Liberty Christmas fabric that we have too. I'm just going down each side just with a straight stitch. Sounds like I need a new needle, but I know it's a new needle because I just put one in. So I don't know what's going on with that. You can't hear me, Phyllis? Everybody else says they can hear me. Let me just double check and make sure. Yeah, it looks like I'm still broadcasting. Okay. Trimming the edges off. So I like this because it looks like kind of like the flowers are coming down like that. And I want it away, just a little bit away from where the string is. I'm going to go ahead and press this on. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is do a decorative stitch around the outside of the circle, and then I'll start putting the ribbon on. Oh, haha, whoops, sorry you guys. Okay, so all I did was just press the bobble on, and I put it about a ½ inch away from where the string is. So sorry I didn't switch the camera. Sometimes I forget. So I'm just going to switch my stitches on my machine. I have like a feather stitch that I'm going to use to go around the outside of the bobble. And I'm going to start up here on top because the ribbon will cover any mistake I make in the beginning. I have to see where it's going to start this stitch. Okay, that's pretty good spacing. So, and it's kind of slow because it uses a lot of stitches to do this feather stitch. So I can kind of guide it. Makes it pretty easy. And I'm using an open toe foot so that I can really see where it's going to go. Sorry, I know this is boring. It takes a while to go around this big, huge circle. And I'm going to stop for a second and make sure everything's out of the way. Okay. Normally I prefer to do a turned edge applique, but because this is just something, it's not a quilt, it's not going to be used for a million years. I don't mind doing a raw edge. And I think this looks really cute with this, like just this little feather stitch. There's lots of cute decorative stitches on this machine that I could have used. I think the last time I did this, I did like a little, it was like a little diamond stitch. It was kind of nice too. So that works really good. Now we'll go put the bow on. Hi, Bonnie. Glad you could come by for a minute. Oh, I'm glad you love the box, Allison. Oh, I keep stepping on that cord. Okay. So where's the knot at? There it is. So this the little knot is going to go over the end of the string. And then we've got to put the bow on. See if I like it this way or this way. I like it like that. And then, and each of these pieces needs to be just a little bit away from the other pieces because you want a little space in between them. So they don't go right next to each other. Okay, so right about like that. Looks pretty good. Probably have to move it a little bit when I get it over into my ironing board here. So I got the idea to do embroidery on this from Sally because she does embroidery on a lot of her quilts. And I thought it would be really cute with this to do something that said something about miracles or believe or something since it's Christmas time. Okay, so I'm not going to make you guys sit and watch me do all of the stitching around the bow, but I think it's going to come out really cute. And I'm going to go ahead and do some embroidery on this side. Then I'm just going to quilt it and bind it, and it'll be a cute little either a mug rug or a little wall hanging. When I did the one in on the table runner, I just did a simple blanket stitch around the bow, which is probably what I'll do again on this. And when I do that, the knot will stand out more from the string. It won't look quite like it blends together quite so much. But I am in love with this print. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll hold it up close so you can see. But I think this is just the prettiest little flower print from Woodland. I love it. It's my favorite. They made it in all 4 colors, so it's really exciting for me because I love it. I think it's so pretty. Anyway, so there's our little project, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas week. No, hun, Janelle, I didn't use wax paper. I used fusible this time. I used some what's it called? Wonder Under. So it's not freezer paper turns like we did our other ones. Yeah, have a Merry Christmas, you guys. And I will see you next week. Thank you, Gwen. There is a pattern here in the comments. If you go up in the comments, the pattern and all the templates and everything are there in the comments that you can download. That's my little gift to you guys for Christmas. So Thanks for coming and having a look. Okay, great. Yeah, you can replay this. It's gonna be here on the channel recorded, so you won't have any problem doing that. And it's simple anyway, so yes, have a happy holiday, everyone. And I will see you again next week on Tuesday, as I do here every Tuesday for our tutorials. And those of you in the club, we are having our sew day this Saturday, the day after Christmas. So if you guys want to come and sew with the club, I'll be sending out a link in your email. And I will see you guys then. Have a wonderful Christmas. Go get some hot chocolate and cookies. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.